Hey guys, ECRG here, back with another episode. Today we've got a great question from somebody on YouTube actually who commented below one of the videos. And they wanted me to first assess the clinical research job market in Miami and what would I think would be a great starting role. So, what do I think would be a great starting role to get into clinical research? And, I've done videos on this in the past. I've done episodes on this in the past. My favorite entry level roles in clinical research, I think is the name of it. So I've done that on that. It's no different anywhere, whether it's Miami, whether it's DC, whether it's New York, or whether it's California. The roles are the roles because, study coordinator, in house CRA, CTA, project coordinator, project specialist. These are great entry points into the clinical research field. It doesn't matter if you're in New York, DC, North Dakota, you name the state, Canada, it doesn't matter. These are the roles that people will get their foot in the door in. And, that's just what it is. So it doesn't really matter. Now, this person wanted me to make another video because they felt like, I guess, Miami is a little bit different than elsewhere. So I will. I'll talk about my experience with Miami and Florida in general when it comes to clinical research. And they also made another comment that says, yeah, they did see my video on the entry-level jobs, but it seems like Miami has limited jobs and doesn't have many entry-level positions. So my first comment to that is, if you feel that where you're located, where you're living, this person thinks Miami doesn't have many jobs to get in the clinical research field, well, you're going to have to move then. If what you're saying is true, if you've done your due diligence and you don't think where you're living has clinical research jobs, and you know in your heart of hearts that you want to be in the clinical research field, you're going to have to move. All right? Now, we've talked about this before. There are many hubs all along the East Coast with clinical research. You've got Raleigh-Durham, which is probably, I think, the closest. You've got Research Triangle Park there. You've got all of those schools. You've got UNC. You've got Duke. You've got all those hospitals, the big hospital network. So you've got plenty of opportunity there. You could move there. If you want to stay in, great weather, you've got California. You've got Los Angeles, San Diego area, which is another hub. You've got Boston, which is a big hub. You got lots of pharma. You got New Jersey, and you got basically Northeast in general. I'm going to just do that because you got Boston with a lot of pharmaceutical companies, New Jersey, a ton of pharmaceutical companies, just in that Northeastern area. So you've got plenty of options to move to if you know for sure you want to be in clinical research industry. So if you feel like Miami is not good for you, then I'm not going to tell you to just stay there because that's just bad. I mean, if it's really no jobs, then they're not just going to magically appear out of thin air. So maybe you have to move. Okay? Now, the second thing is, I know there are jobs in Miami. Now, they might not be the jobs that you want, but if you want clinical research experience, I know there are jobs there. So, one, you've got study coordinator. Study coordinator, for me, I feel like is one of the best jobs to get your foot in the door. Now, you're going to be working a lot. You're not going to be paid that well, but you're going to be building a strong foundation for your clinical research career. Study coordinators work really hard. They understand source documents. They understand juggling different tasks. They understand, meeting PI's demands and meeting CRO and pharma's demands. It's a great role. And I feel like study coordinators make the best CRAs. So if you're interested in becoming a CRA, I would definitely think about being a study coordinator. Now, where are you going to look for these jobs? How are you going to find these jobs? Well, a hospital is a great starting point because hospitals oftentimes conduct research, take care of research patients. So they need study coordinators there to conduct the research for the PIs. So teaching hospitals are a great place to look. And I know they're there in Miami because I monitored there in the area before. So I know they're there. You've got hospitals there. You've got institutions there that, University of Miami being one of them, that have opportunities there for study coordinators. So that's one. Another one, research assistant. That's a very entry-level role also. This might be someone who's going to help the study coordinator enter data or just, do anything like that. So that's always a position. There's research techs, which may help them conduct some of the testing on patients. So there's that. That's a good role too in a hospital setting also. Sometimes hospitals monitor their own studies too. So they may have in-house CRAs or CRAs also. So that's good too. So I know there are opportunities there in Miami. The fact that you're saying that there's none is just not true. But if that's true, what about right up the street in Fort Lauderdale? I know there's hospitals there and clinics there. So you really want to look in that area. I mean, you got Fort Lauderdale and you got Miami. Maybe you need to move to Fort Lauderdale and look at that. So what I would do is get on Indeed right now after you finish watching this video, of course, and look for jobs in that area because I know there are jobs there. So go on Indeed, go on places where have offices there. There's got to be some CROs that have an office in that area. Find out which ones they are. Look them up. Look and see what jobs are open. Get on LinkedIn. This is one I've kind of recently come up with. But look for people that are in the area that are in clinical research. Figure out how they got in. Figure out which companies they're working for. And see if they have any open positions or if they can refer you for those positions. LinkedIn is a great resource. I know there are people that live in Miami area that are doing clinical research, right? Miami's a big city. It's a large city. It's got clinical research. Now, it's definitely not a hub. It's definitely not a Raleigh-Durham or, a Boston or a New Jersey, but they've got clinical research. And, look at those opportunities: study coordinator, research tech, research assistant. Those are going to be hospital-based positions. So if you don't have any CROs that have presence there or pharma companies, fine. You've got hospitals there, so you can break in that way. You got hospitals, you got clinics there, so you can break in there. I think one thing that people don't look at enough is the power of moving also. If you really want to get in this industry, then moving shouldn't be the biggest deal, unless you're talking about money. But if you don't have the money to do it, then you're going to have to make some money in order to do it. But you can definitely get a job secured before you leave. If you're looking at one of the hubs here, you can definitely get a job before you leave. And then, so you're moving for a job, right? Another thing you want to look at is, have you applied for positions and you're just getting rejected? And is that why you're saying there are no jobs down there? That could be a very real thing. People's resumes, basically you're only as good as your resume because that's what they're going to see. So if they're just throwing you out, maybe there's something you don't know. Maybe your resume is not very clear and coherent and concise. That's why I started the resume review program, to help people such as yourself break into the clinical research field. I noticed a lot of people's resumes, are not clear, they're not concise, and their resumes don't really kind of explain why they would be good in the clinical research field. So that's what I really specialize in. I specialize in narrowing down your resume into one page and really making sure that there's only high yield details in there. So maybe you need to, email me about the resume review program, and that would be really helpful for you. I don't know. A lot of times it takes some self-awareness to look and see where we're going wrong. So maybe that's something you should think about. But yeah, like I said before, the entry-level positions are the entry-level positions no matter where you are, whether you're in Canada, Bangladesh, Europe, wherever you are, it doesn't matter. USA, it doesn't matter. So yeah, of course, different markets may have more or less jobs based on, just what it is. But I also got to tell you, you asked this question in a difficult time because it's mid-November at the recording of this video, 2018. Clinical research shuts down now. Right around Halloween, it shuts down. And people are going on vacation. Recruiters are going on vacation. Their hiring departments are not really looking to bring people on during this time. So don't judge that based on just this time. I would pretty much, still apply and stuff, but just realize people are not probably going to get back to you until mid to late January and beyond. So clinical research really shuts down around this time. So keep that in mind also. Let's see if there's anything else I'm missing here from your question. Yes, that's pretty much it. If you have any follow-up questions, you can just comment back on that thread, or you could just email me eliteclinicalgroup@gmail.com. Hope this was helpful. Really, really do. And enjoy. Miami is a great place. I love going down there every time I monitor. Love Miami. All right, guys. Take care.